Testing, testing. All right. So getting real quick to go here. Left, we have our resident Lucky Star player. To our right, looks like Project Diva. I think it's the latest, so Project X. Featuring Pot Agreed. We have sound. Yes, thank you. Yeah. I had to wait until that came on live, just probably a little second or so later than you, Audrey. But as you can see here, I think this might be turn 2, looks like. Turn 3. Second turn for Project Diva, I'm going to assume, based on the damage. Is that a 2-soul, or is that a wind trigger? I can't tell. Well, there you go. So quick level for Lucky Star. Project X trying to push advantage. Oh, the gold bar. So that's 2 climaxes out so far, and he is holding 2 more in his hand. So the dangers of this, of course, is the fact that our resident Lucky Star player is indeed running like a 2-soul. I think, and there you go. That was a 2k1 draw. Run counter, which is weird, but that's okay. Just trying to save cards, but a lot of damage. Oh, he does manage to still cancel though. What a god. Yeah, so just direct attacks, soul trigger, so that's nice. For 4, ooh. Let's see. I think Lucky Star also has a fair amount of climaxes in his hand too, so it'll be interesting. The biggest component right now for Lucky Star is the fact that he needs to push damage significantly, so that Project Diva can't just sit on his events that allow you to generate stock per CX play. It doesn't allow him to kind of amass the compression that is pretty lethal if you just let Project Diva do their thing. Project Diva might just, the unfortunate thing with Project Diva, I think, is you may brick a lot of the time, aka like you don't get the cards that you need. Did you just draw? Oh no, just 1 climax, which is okay. It's not bad. He'll probably like fish for his pot of greeds right now, I think, with several of these cards. Yeah, so there's one of the events that he managed to get into his memory. That event, of course, like I said, is as soon as you play a climax, you can put a card from your waiting room into stock, and if you have enough of these in turn 1, you just take off, right? Because they pay for themselves as soon as you play a climax. And the whole Project Diva X game is, of course, you do this at level 1, and then at level 2 you play your pot of greeds, you fish and mill through your deck for the cards you need, while setting up your end game, of course, and then you just sit there on your compression for the rest of the game, because every climax you play, it generates 2 to 3, well, I guess in this case 1 to 3 stock. So I mean, in terms of bricking, like if you had everything you need at level 1, like probably 2 of these and like a bunch of costless cards, like you're fine, right? So you can see that free generation right now, and there you go. And you just start swinging. It seems to be a yellow level 1 combo on reverse. Top 2 looks like. Look for something. Maybe check for an event of some sort, and then you might be able to salvage one. I'm not actually too sure on the combo itself right now. I'm just kind of, yeah, it looks like on reverse he gets the salvage for 2 sticks. Yeah, check top 2. I think it's I think he has to check the top 2 to allow him to salvage equal to the number of level or something like that. Of course, I'm not too sure. If anyone has the actual effect, it would be you just let me know, chat. Otherwise, he does pay 3 to keep the Konata, just one of them. Of course, right as of course an older set Lucky Star, we don't really have too much in the option department. So like And he also has a bunch of climaxes in hand, right? So paying for 3 is not exactly the worst plan ever. Yeah, no, he's just amassing. Still just trying to hang in there. Unfortunately, he can't get up a 3rd card. Oh, he's trying to think about if he wants to mill. Yeah, mill runner. He now knows that there's a soul trigger, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I feel like he doesn't mill though, so he's just going to take it. Yeah, that's a level. So actually, it's not too bad right now for Lucky Star. The game is accelerating quite fast. And the only way that like PDX could probably mitigate this is through canceling, but as we know that he is out a few climaxes. So the only way he could slow this down is probably after the refresh. Yeah, hits for 2. So let's see what Project Diva here can retaliate with. He has only a few cards left in his deck. If he does play one of those quote-unquote Pot of Greed cards, I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but it's a 2-0 event that PDX has. That on play, you may perform Akatsuki, and you perform it again. So you actually get to +1 while milling through 8 cards. You can the only restriction, of course, is you cannot play this unless you have a music character. But as we all know, it's kind of like one of those laugh out loud Bushiroad restriction. Most broken card in Weiss. Yes, I would agree. One of the most. One of the most for sure. But again, it's ran in a deck that doesn't seem too much representation in Japan. Like surprisingly so, right? Like because in theory, like if the deck takes off, right? Like there's like what how are you gonna win, right? Like you generate stock every time you play a climax. You have a +1 that at level 2. Right, you effectively mill through your deck, and there are times where people have just generated so much stock off of just playing climax. Like all you do is you fetch your healers, you play them, and you play over them, and with your pot of greeds, you refresh the deck and you fish them out again. So like you just never die, right? And the other player just can't like help but like just be, they just take it, right? Because this is one of the few like. Weiss doesn't have many interactions outside of like backups right now, so it's basically a game of solitaire for the PDX player when things go off, and as the opponent, you can't just you just sit there and you pray, right? But like everything is stacked against you when you fight PDX if it takes off, right? His compression's amazing. He'll like never die because he just keeps healing, and he gets +1 card, right? So he'll never be like out of cards in his hand as long as he has a pot of greeds. And it's also good to note that like the 1-0s that he's playing, I think the blue one closest to the bottom there is actually a whatchamacallit, is actually it bonds to it, right? You clock to bond it, which is like laughable too, like especially in the end game, because at level 3 you can still play these cards, fish back the event, and then you use the event to find your healer, and you just play over on top. Because like as you can clearly see, after just two turns, right? This is 2 turns. Last turn he played the event, played a climax, and swung 3 times. This turn he just did it again. Look at the amount of stock he's already generated, right? So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and he's at 2, 3, right? So theoretically, if he, this is before he refreshed too, by the way. Like he, at least the Lucky Star player knows that the next 2 cards is damage because he checked through the climax combo. But like when he refreshes, that's about, let's see here, I counted 9, 12, 12, 14, whatever is in his hand, was probably a lot. Like 20 something cards, 1 card in memory as well. Like half his deck is already accounted for, right? So half his deck with 8 climaxes, probably, I think he has 1 in hand, so 7 climaxes back. It's a 1 in 3 chance rate, statistically speaking, give or take, which isn't like it is pretty good compression, right? Especially since if he has those events, that's 8 cards he's willing to mill through, right? And you can adjust this number as you need 4 at a time, right? 0 to 4 is 0 to 4. So PDX is actually quite in a position of power here. The Lucky Star player couldn't keep up with the cancels, unfortunately. Hopefully he can do it now. He had to brainstorm, I think, just to refresh. Oh no, I think he just finished clocking is what he did. No, I think he brainstormed. One card is rested. So if he has a like the problem, of course, as you can see here in the older decks, is that it's very difficult to try to keep up with resources because your stuff just cost a lot more to do like basically the same thing as free cards do nowadays. But Lucky Star player still trucking on. He knows that those 2 cards are not climaxes, so like he'll at least deal 3 damage and send him to level 3. The real question is, because I didn't really see any of the Pot of Greed events being played in PDX, so either he's keeping them all in his hand, or whatchamacallit, or he hasn't gotten them, right? Which means like he can't really like his endgame might not be ready. I feel like that isn't the case, though. I know he has at least one of the climaxes in his hand. The PDX finisher as well is nothing to be scoffed at, too, right? Because I think it's the you play one sorry yeah, so you play the climax and then you ditch it for another climax, and then you burn. So it's a very, very strong combo. Okay, so it is a close game, level 3. So if Lucky Star cancels at least like 2 times, he should be able to live through this. He has 4 stocks, so he can play a few cards if he does have any level 3s. Else he can just, like, I think, hit him hard with any level 2s that he might have, because the Lucky Star player plays a very level 2 centric game where he plays a bunch of the 2/2s that get like really fat, so they beat over anything because of the otaku trait. So here we are. Yeah, there's the healer. So there's a lot of cards in the PDX player's hands. The real question is, are any of them the end game pieces that he needs right now? I think those are the end game pieces. I'm not too sure. He's brainstorming. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. Hits 1. Is he searching? He's gonna search. Oh no, it's a salvage. Sorry, apologies. Salvage. So what's he gonna do there? He only needs to deal 6 damage. Lucky Star, is just gonna take it this turn. There's not much he can do. He might have a backup for like the center if it's if the Taku traits are strong enough. Missing a slot though. Plays over the brainstorm. I'm not exactly privy to know what that does. Clock and find something, I'm guessing. I think he finds a climax, which is part of the combo. Yeah, there we go. So I think the Miku combo requires 1 climax in the climax slot, and then you get to like pay the cost and you play the other climax on top of this one to perform the burn damage. I could be wrong. I know there's some nuances I might be missing with the Miku PDX finisher. That being said, though, like I said, if Lucky Star like cancels at least twice on these swings, he should be able to live. And if so, then the PDX player is kind of like in a bind, because as we saw, like half the CX is already out, right? He refreshed into 1. He has like 2 in hand. He just clocked himself for the other climax. Oh, so this is the proverbial Pot of Greed event. So as you can see here, he's milling up to 4. He's probably trying to calculate such that he'll refresh. Missed it a CX there. At this point, would you go for another one? No, he just takes that. So there's 4 cards left in his deck. So like I said, you can see this quickly. What's quickly happening is he's just going through his deck, plays the climax. He still only has one of those events, so not the best. And free stock is free stock, right? It's already paid for itself in like 2 turns ago. And that's still a lot of stock, right? Like going to level 3. 4 cards left, so he'll be refreshing pretty soon. You could say like he probably could have like tried to fish for another healer to heal out the climax. Level 3, Miku burns during the encore step, and you place a CX into the rating room and replace it with the proper one. Then you pay the cost and burn for each Miku. Yeah, so that's what I thought. Oh no. Okay, well there you go. He could not cancel. Lucky Star Play could not cancel. And there you go. And that's round 1. Very quick round 1 because of the I guess the nature of the matchup against Lucky Star. Right. Both players as well out a lot of climaxes, but as you can see, Project Diva eked out starting from like the level 2 game. But and yeah, that's about right. Just because it had the resources to do so, right? Like what there's not much you can do. The compression that you can get for free from Project Diva is just so much easier to do than Lucky Star, and older decks in general, right? Because older decks in general, like you have the game plan of, dealing damage as fast as possible, but at the same time you want to keep your resource use to a minimum, like as much as possible, right? Because you're following your game plan of also trying to compress, but your means of doing so are generally weaker than many of the more modern decks. And yeah, Lucky Star could not punch through enough damage. Some timely cancels from the Project Diva player. So, but I mean that's also through his. Actually I don't know about his compression. I think he just got lucky because he didn't really compress until after, way later into the game. But as you can see, like stock generation, so easy, right? You get 3 a turn. Project Diva gets like 4 or 5 a turn. And compresses harder. What's a guy to do, right? Miku didn't even go off. A little bit unfortunate for our Lucky Star player. I think so too, Audrey. That's a good question. Well, not a good question. Sorry, not question. I mean, good point. As a I guess an older set player, right? You inherently have to take more risks, right? Which is why people like run the 2 souls. Why you have to like sometimes pay 3 just to keep a unit, right? Because that's just something you have to do, right? Because you naturally just don't plus. Yeah. See, yeah, he was down to start every turn. I'm not sure if he wasn't like comfortable, or maybe the cards in his hand like just weren't able to be played, right? I think it's a little bit more of like him just trying to reserve a few for his like level 2 game, but it didn't really pan out. But the fact that he's also brought back by the fact that I think his climax like ratio was either like a 2 soul or a 2k1, because like of course you play the 2 soul triggers too, right, in order to accelerate the game in your favor. And unfortunately he had the 2k1s versus the 2 souls, right? Because if he had 2 souls, I can make a like even a stronger point of why he should have tri-fielded. But if it's a 2k1, then like and of course 2k1 draw. Sorry, let me put that. Yeah, 2k1 1 soul draw isn't like the best kind of card. Best kind of climax, I guess, in today's standards, right? Because now you have all of these like split 2 souls and 2Ks, and even in Fantasia Bunko right now you have the newly introduced 2 soul trigger and give 2 soul to 2 units, I think, or soul across the board, and you salvage 1. And yeah, hi Xavier. It was I won't say it's a bad game, but it was a very fine example of an older set being unable to compete against a more modern set. No fault of the weaker decks. Like or the piloting of the deck. Besides the fact that we talked about with Audrey and the fact that he didn't really tri-lane all the time. Yeah. That's what I saw too. Like half your hand was climaxes. Igor. For those who don't know, Igor in the chat right now is our Lucky Star player. And yeah. So like all he could do was play his 2K1s and hope and hopes it sticks, right? So yeah. So again, as an older set, right? You don't have those hand fixers. You don't have those brainstorms that do amazing things for you besides just like brainstorming, right? Or the random like 500. Like when Love Live was a thing, when introduced way back when, right? The introduction of a global 5 and a brainstorm, even just a tap 2 brainstorm was amazing, right? Especially when coupled with the first fact, like the first profile, the LD profile, which gets just 500 for each other music character, was ridiculous at the time, especially in English. Maybe less so in Japan. I don't really recall what the meta in Japan was because I was just getting into the game at the time. Yeah, I don't doubt it being good and that was my set. Well, there you go. You would know. But yeah, as the our Lucky Star player is mentioning, the you as an older set, you are quite restricted in your ways of playing, right? You aren't as flexible as modern decks where you have more options with the amount of cards you have. And sometimes again you just have to Hail Mary, right? You play those 2 souls, you play those 2 souls triggers and hoping that you eke out damage this way, because everything else in your game is relatively vanilla compared to more modern sets. It's still a suffering process. I think Lucky Star came out after Macross, or is it not? I feel like Macross came out after. Here, I need to look this up. I don't actually know. I think I can answer that, Audrey, and I believe it can. If the Lucky Star player managed his level 2 game, he was looking at like 14k walls, I think I quoted before. Anywhere between like 11k to 14k. All right, friends, let me take a look here. I'm going to search Macross Frontier. Okay, so I see Macross Frontier. It is definitely one of the older sets. And let me try to find Lucky Star. Lucky Star. Lucky Star. Persona 4 EP. Lucky Star definitely came out before, I'm pretty sure, Macross F, which is odd. It's odd to me. Yeah, it definitely came out before. You have searchable backups, which gets you level 1 to. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, there you go. Right. So Lucky Star does have the power, which is why a resident Lucky Star player plays the set, right? In our current meta, in our Calgary meta. Thou shall not reverse Konata, man. You just don't reverse the otaku, right? That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Have you seen her when she plays games, dude? I may have baited one of the Calgary players into King of Fighters. Hey, Koff is great. Do you like trait lists? I like trait lists. But again, King of Fighters as an older set, of course, to bring it back into reality, is chances are you're losing. You're probably losing more games than winning them. But a fine pilot will be able to maybe hit that 50-50 mark. You just know there are games that are just going to be suffering though. And the common creed, right? As we all know, with two souls. I've seen that deck at JP Regionals Nats over the years. Yeah, people try to come back with it every so often. And I do remember, like, it wasn't too long ago that someone actually topped with like one of those random old decks. But like, you do need a good pilot for them. Do need a good pilot for them. But hey, right? Like I said, Weiss is a game where like any deck really can win given the right circumstances. It's just, you know, the stronger decks are very consistent at doing their job, whereas the older sets, you know, kind of struggle to do the same thing. Pretty, and the harder you struggle, right, the more you rely on the variance within the game, which is, of course, as we know, like, will you eat 5 damage randomly or not eat 5 damage randomly? And in Calgary, sometimes you just generally tend to eat 5+ damage at level 3 after your compression for no reason. Burn on the opponent's turn is so jank. Yeah, man. That's just not Calgary. Well, there you go. I'm only strictly speaking about my sample size, Audrey, but I'm glad that this game of Weiss Schwarz is universal for. Hey, I should be able to cancel that into handshake. Into handshake. 3 damage I can cancel. You go above that and, like, you know, I eat that for breakfast. I'll add the Midwest to your sample size. Good to know, good to know. Talk about, you know, the resurgence of the boats. You know, a lot of boats. Oh, hey, is Batman out today? Batman out? Anyone playing Batman today? Batman Ninja, I mean. TD is okay. I don't know the cards in the TD. Is the Restander in the TD? I feel like it is, right? Can someone confirm that with me? Not many TDs where you can just buy 2 and just go ham with it, you know. Gruin was such a TD. Rosalia was such a TD. I'm not sure if Batman is. TD has a different restander, so it does have a restander. Okay. Love Life set 1 was for its time. Oh, okay. There you go too. Chris has a lot of knowledge in 2 TD topics. Hey man, sometimes you just need a bang for buck, alright? So I guess the story behind Xavier Xavier is talking about is in our shop challenge. I think this is like over a year ago now. I bought 2 Gruin TDs and like 1 box of Gurren, because I love Gurren, very good place in my heart. And I rolled with it, right? Whatever cards I found in that 1 box, I got like 1 Ricky or something, and like one virile salvage or whatever have you, and 1 like Shimon double rare brainstorm. More than half my deck was and the whole point of it was the combine, and I beat out like 2 AOTs and 2 SOWs to claim first place. I do really like the Gurren TD. I feel like a lot of people, go for the Tengen Toppa build, which is, and it's fine, right? I love the Tengen Toppa build. It was just so much flavor. It's just so unfortunate that like so many decks have like an out to it in the memory kick counter, that like you can't really play it safely, and your means of getting to the Tengen Toppa counter are just a little bit rough compared to most other decks end game. But I digress. I love the Gurren finisher and the combined mechanic. Like but I always forgot to draw 2, ditch 1 after I like freely did it. So I was always minus. It was so sad. But here we're starting round 2, guys. Round 2. Batman Booster has a combined mechanic too. Yeah, Audrey. I think from what I've read of the 3/2 blue endgame, it's literally the rip of Tengen Toppa. Like, like, bro, copy your homework, but don't make it too obvious. Like Bushiro was just they didn't follow that second part. Besides the trigger is pants, I'm guessing, but I digress. Here we go. Moving on to game 2. We have let's see what to our left is. Our left is this Schoolgirl Strikers? Is it Schoolgirl Strikers? Right is Konosuba. Tried and true. I think it's the Megumin build, so you're not gonna see, or maybe I'm not sure. You might not see the more blue aspects of the deck, which is of course the aqua. It is Schoolgirl Strikers, so there you go, guys. Say hello to restricted sets. Okay, well, Shot Trigger is not the worst if he cancels, right? Nope, just eats it. It's fine, not too bad, but obviously you don't want to be out 2 climaxes on the first turn. But here we are, boys. Schoolgirl Strikers, a very interesting set. I don't really know the too much about it. I know the player to our left specifically runs like a very gigantic wall in 1 card, like in the center. Most of his back rows like just pump the crap out of the center slot because Schoolgirl Strikers, right? Your center is the strongest, right? Makes sense if you've ever played soccer. And he runs a cancel burn combo in his 3/2, and he has an early play that has hexproof, so he's not afraid of those anti-changes. Susceptible to some bombs, but hey, what are you gonna do? Konosuba player, not really opening too well. He did open the runner, but obviously you would want to have like a second swing. The Megumin endgame, of course, requiring a lot of resources used to inflict the damage, right? Play like pay 3 or something, and like you burn 5 and clock kick the other person. You basically dodge interaction, right? Unfortunately for our Schoolgirl Striker player, like he played another climax, so we know he's like out like 4, and I think it's a stock soul, so like he had to put the climax back. So he needs to pay that out like ASAP, really. And I think he didn't have any hand fixtures, so like I guess you can argue like why would you do that? But maybe he felt like he didn't have any options, like he couldn't hold on to it. And again, like it's not a very good start for the Schoolgirl Striker player either, as he is still sitting on the single card. Like right now, you would at least like to have like another a swing, right, of sorts. Yeah, I would agree, Audrey. Like he needs to pay that out fast. Like, and he didn't have a brainstorm either. Like if he drew into a brainstorm, he would have been fine. Pay 1, ditch 1, search would have been ideal, but no dice. So Konosuba player is gonna try to probably take advantage of this. You can see that he, I think, bonded to or tried to found the Union. Oh no, he's already level 1, so he's fine. So if he gets off the Union, then he's sufficiently far ahead. I think that's the climax combo, is it not? It's just a gate. I don't think it is. Cancels. Well, at least it still cancels. Oh no, no, yeah, no. There you go, guys. It definitely is the climax combo. That's my bad. So for those who don't know, Union is a very good card, and that's why like Konosuba is one of those strongly rated decks. Is because Union does what like 2 cards really needs to do in a climax combo. She not only generates stocks for you, but like she also RNGs. Hey, if the top of the deck is I think level 1 or higher, you can add it to hand. Unfortunately, as expected, the Schoolgirl Strikers did take a bunch of damage that turn, as you can see. He's still cancelled, which is nice. Brainstorming, very good. He's out another climax though, so like he's running low. He needs to find ways to mill through his deck ASAP. I think he might be foregoing that already. He grabbed his early play there, so that early play is the hex proof. It's pretty big too. So yeah, it definitely could have been worse, Audrey. Yeah, for sure. He did cancel one. And the damage isn't actually too far now that I look about it again, because like Konosuba is at 1-2. The real question is, does Schoolgirl Strikers have enough resources to spend to put 2 more cards down onto the field? He plays the Akatsuki event, I think that is in the Schoolgirl Strikers. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably fishing out. Ooh. Ooh. So he's out a bunch of climaxes. Let's see if I can do the math here. I know there's like at least 1 or 2 in the stock, and we've went through at least like 4 of them. So he's out. Oh yeah, no, he pays for it. Good, good, good. Oh no, there's like the last one. Oh god. Oh god. Does he have any more ways to mill out the rest of his deck? If not, he's eating a bunch of damage. So for those that don't know, I think the assist in the back for the Schoolgirl Strikers is literally pumping the crap out of the middle slot. And then he stock bombs. Not that it really matters per se, but hey. Damage does go through though, so that's good. It's good. Ooh, timely cancel. Or is it timely? 2, 4. He is at 6. So he can get to level 2 if he really wants to. And the Megumin early plays, I think. Does Megumin have an early play? I feel like it does. Megumi's endgame, I'll talk about it right now, is really good too, right? She has like 3 different finish pieces. One finish piece can just, I think, pay 1 to call out another one. So like you save cost that way. There's a level. Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. So Konosuba player doesn't really have many means of whatchamacallit, hand fixing right now. Oh no, there we go. So never mind. I take that back. He's hand fixing, which is good. Because he just has like 4 in hand. I'm not sure if what he's looking for though, that being said. He already expended the unions. Can he even find a union? No. So the 3-2 that he just got, chat, is the whatchamacallit. Oh, sneaker bunku drop search. That's what it is. Okay, there we go. Good card. F to anyone in chat who had to pay for the promo before Fantasia Bunko. Sneaker Bunko? Sneaker Bunko, sorry. Sneaker Bunko. But yeah, sorry, back to the one he fished out. That was the 3-2 endgame piece that like pays 3 or something. Burn 5 and clock kick whatever is across from it. It can't attack, mind you, but what are you gonna do? There you go. So, paid out all the stocks. So he's hoping to kind of stall out the game here, I think. Because like he wants to generate a lot more stock than what he has right now. Meanwhile, schoolgirl strikers, I think, just at this point, just praying to gods, like, please, if there's one card left in if there's one climax left in the deck, please just show yourself right now. He doesn't want to be hit too hard. He wants to be able to play his early play. Konosuba did trigger the a gate trigger, so, or a comeback trigger, if you will. Gets to add more cards to his hand. Not ideal for him though, I guess, because he wants to cancel, but and just kind of stay in this level 2 game. Plays the backup. Yeah, so eats all that damage. Not the worst, actually, not the worst. There indeed was no more climaxes left in his deck. And he kept one of his strongest cards on the board too, the one he had to pay a cost for. I think it's a 1/1. Does get very big, I think, according to like other schoolgirl strikers. And you can tell the difficulty in beating over, because I think he had to play a 3/2 early play on the field or something of that sort. Could be 2/1. I'm not sure. Can't really tell the level from here, but the backup did seal the deal. Well, he can. The schoolgirl strikers can opt to just not stay at level 2 and get access to his level 3 game. It's really up to him. I'm not sure if he wants to do that. Oh, he's gonna try milling for. No, he opts not to. Oh goodness, you don't want to see that. So he milled out two climaxes after refresh. So early play, heal. There you go. So that's the early play hexproof coming in action. Just got huge as it was placed in the center. Probably very difficult to remove. But again, though, that being said, I can stress how huge schoolgirl strikers can get. Endgame Megumi doesn't care, because if the combo works out, she just clock kicks whatever's in front. There's no interaction with Megumi. It's either explosion, you take 5 and you get clock kicked, or you cancel the 5 and you get clock kicked. Right? So luckily for Konosuba, he's kind of still in this the level 2 game. Wasn't accelerated to level 3. So he can still kind of, sit here for a little bit. Unless he wants to be at level 3, if he feels ready to be. He can just clock kick the center slot and try to test out the resources left to this schoolgirl striker. There are options and pros and cons for each, of course. Because you just saw him move 2 climaxes from his deck to the waiting room, right? Are you more certain that you can deal 5 damage now or later? Yeah, I would agree. It's not too much resources. The problem becomes if schoolgirl strikers like loses all his cards like right now. Who would be able to finish off the Konosuba player? Because outside of the cancel burn climax combo, there's not much in schoolgirl strikers, and I think that's only off of the 1/3/2. So shot triggers might win the day, though. Of course, shot trigger is not necessarily the best kind of climax, but sometimes you just need that extra burn one, Okay, so refresh. Oh, it's a climax. Okay, so that's not too cool, because the Konosuba player still has a few in his hand, I think. At least one in his hand, so he's out 2. Still, he does it. He's opting to go to level 3. He wants access to those baller Megumins. So let's see what he can do here. He can at least play one of them. Oh, he pushes up, which is also fine. Saving cards, saving cards. Place one. Okay, so he's opting to do the Wiz and Megumi combo, I think. Hopefully he has another costless card to play on his. No, he opts not to. Yeah, so he plays the 2-1 instead, or a 1-1. I'm not too sure exactly what that card is. Gets another climax out. I forgot he triggered that way back when, so he's actually down a fair amount of climaxes. Out half now, I think. Yeah, out half now. One off of the clock. Checked right now. One in hand. Yeah. So there's 4 left. So his state of the deck is not exactly the best. Yeah, there you go. Drops it. Drops the combo. Stock soul combo. And I think he has to pay. Oh, here we go. Pay 1. Burn 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So he made the correct decision in seeing those 2 climaxes out last turn to accelerate the game, or to push him to level 3 as well. And clock kicks. Yes. So now it is quite a dangerous position for our and a trigger. Oh my goodness. However, it is a direct attack, so there's nothing he can really do except do more damage. Overshoot the damage. Oh no! Where are they? Where are they? Next card? Next card! You hate to see that happen. Oh no. Left side eats the damage again. Yeah, so as you can see, chat, after milling out those 2 climaxes, how much damage did he eat? Unanswered. That was 4? 4 from the Megumi, 5 clock kick, and then I think he did another 2, 3, 5? So I think he ate like 9. Poor guy. He just needed 1 cancel too. Like, just anywhere, 1 cancel. So as you can see, Explosion, a very good magic spell. Decimated our Schoolgirl Striker player. A little bit unfortunate for him. I was definitely thinking he'd if he didn't cancel that, he probably would have canceled everything, like something else. Didn't happen. And what are you gonna do? Like, Weiss is that kind of game. And to be fair, like if he lived through that turn, I don't see like Konosuba playing, or sorry, Konosuba living through his turn, being out 4 climaxes with like a full deck, unless they were all on the top or something like that. I'm surprised the Konosuba player didn't put the Megumin in the middle to clock kick the hexproof. Megumin actually, I think, I have to actually read Megumin. I think it's the character across gets clock kicked. I don't think you choose, so you bypass hexproof. But I will confirm. Audrey, again, fair point. But because Konosuba had to like suicide as he did some cards, he would have had some free attack slots, some free direct attack slots. And we know he was out 4 climaxes. But I get it. Like, it's vanilla swings all around, right? So like there's no guarantee. Like, 1 cancel and you're done, right? Oh no, yeah, he never mind. So you do have to choose one character facing this card, so that's why he couldn't do it. That's fair. But I mean, that's all he had, right? Burn cancel combo would be fine. Maybe some shot triggers work out for him. But no, I completely understand. Oh, how many players and how many rounds today? I'm actually not sure. Let me ask my people there. As you know, I am in a different city commentating this, so if you do notice like lag or whatnot between what is happening on the screen and me discussing it, that is why I am in a different city. But you know, we'll ask my people and see. I'm probably going to be banking like about 14 or so. We've had quite the surgence of new players as of late, which is always nice in a community. Um, so yeah, at our highest point, I think we had one in like a major tournament of ours. We had like about almost 30 people, I think. But those are for what we hold like a trio event, like I think biannually, if not annually, and a lot of people show up to that just because it's easier to play in teams. Grab your friends. Yeah, that was at its peak though. But usually we get between anywhere between 12 to 18 right now. This was a long time ago, of course. Yeah. So I think last week, I think last Friday we hit 18 or so, and that was really great. A lot of people like repping, their favorite sets, and it's nice that English is kind of kicking up. It's kind of nice that Japan's taking a bunch of these IPs. Not good for the wallet, but hey, what are you gonna do? A little bit of everything in both the Sneaker Bunko and the Fantasia sets. But yeah, so that's round two in our locals today. So stay tuned as we go into round three. I'll be right back. Shoutouts to Fate Go. Yeah, sorry, Adri. Still waiting for that round 3. I just got a confirmation. There are 14 players today for our locals. Terrible. How's it going? Well, I guess we can. What can we do? I guess we can talk about all these dank plays that are happening. Much of the dank plays involve players eating an absurd amount of damage for no reason. So besides Gurren, what else do you play? Let's see. So I usually play Idolmasters 765. I don't have any of the new stuff. Did he just swing 14 soul? I think he hit 9. I think the total damage might have been 9 unanswered. 4 clock kick, 2 3. Yeah, I think that's what it was. It might be 10. I'm not sure. I feel like it was 9. So yeah, I played the original 765. I like that deck to bits. Just because I do like Idolmasters. I recently bought into Goblin Slayer, but I'm not playing the meta build. Meta build being Priestess early play, Soul Suppressed. That being said, I play a variant of it, which is I play the 2/1 Sword Maidens instead, and hope and pray for a stronger 2/1 unexpected early game. Have you tried 8-gate in what deck? 765? Goblin Slayer? any Japanese deck? Oh, Goblin Slayer. No, I have not, because I rely on my my climax combos very heavily in that deck. It's a very high risk, I guess, high reward game. In that my end game pieces are the TDs actually. I try to amass stock via my 2/1 play, and when my level 3 hits, I play my 3/2 Goblin Slayer, and pay 3, burn. How much was it? Burn 2, burn 3, something like that. That's it, but it's so much fun with the event toolbox. Yeah, no, I can see that. Burn 2, yeah, burn 2. It's been a while. I haven't played in a long time due to summer classes, but that's besides the point. But yeah, so recently bought Goblin Slayer. It's really nice. It's very I guess decision making intensive in the fact that when do you want to use Torch, right? Especially when you're like considering like how much am I digging until that next climax, right? Especially if you're using it as a counter. So there's that. What else do I play? What do I flip flop around? So there's Gurren, of course. Guitari, big Guitari player. Is it possible to have more options for playback quality other than 690p? Unfortunately, not terrible at this point in time, because I guess this was kind of like a little hobby thing. Because my internet doesn't like anything more than 360. I can try talking to the streamer, a resident streamer, which is how I am actually getting the quality as well, or the stream as well, as I'm talking to you while watching it. But I can definitely discuss to see if there's options. I'm actually not sure, but we can see if we can have different quality options. I don't know how that would work or the logistics behind it. Maybe a few button clicks, but we can make it happen. We can try to make it happen. But yeah, no, a big Guitari player. Guitari is actually what got me into the game when it was first announced for English. Because at that time, like I just finished the first season of Bakemonogatari, and it was like the best thing ever. And I was like, oh my god, it's coming! And like my friends are like, yo, this is a game called Weiss Schwarz. I'm like, that's cool. And it has Fate. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then I saw like an advertisement or whatever. It's like Bakemonogatari coming to Weiss Schwarz. I'm like, oh my god, no, I gotta play this game. Hey, I mean, at that time, competing against competing against what it was, Disgaea, Madoka, Sao wasn't exactly the worst, right? Certainly you're not having a good time, but like wasn't that bad. It didn't get bad until like Sao set 2 and Love Live. That's when like you kind of knew you couldn't really do much with the deck. And at that time, like I was just dabbling into the game, right? So it's not like I went all in and I got like, you know, all the end game pieces. I didn't get like all the 3/2 Hitagis that heal on play and potentially kill the level 1. I didn't get like a bunch of the 3/2 Hanekawa's assists. It was a very definition of a high resource intensive end game with not any ability to get there. Because your level 1 combo was not a costless combo. It was a search to top 5 combo, but you paid 1 right now. It worked off of 2 soul. So back to the whole 2 soul giveth, 2 soul taketh kind of thing. There was some reprieve in the second set though, in the Nisei Monogatari, in the Shinobu. You actually could contest things. Cute Lisa Matt. Yeah. So there we go. Round 3. To our right, probably our Million Live player. I'm not sure what he's playing today. Could be Sunshine. He's also a resident Sunshine player. Against to our left, Bang Dream player. He used to dabble in a lot of decks, but he actually went really hard in a Bang Dream. I think he actually has a different deck for each of the bands. But the person to our right, actually one of I guess our main judges for the scene, and probably our longest standing player is to our right. That Madoka mat, nice. Yeah, right. Like I'm always so blown away every time he brings it out. His mat of choice, really. Shoutouts to anyone playing the new Madoka game, and hopefully that means they lift the restrictions on the on the Japanese licensing issue, so you can play it at like a WGP or whatever. That'd be nice. What would be even nicer is after their Alicization whatchamacallit announcement, that they just outright announced that the next set is coming to Weiss, the mobile game set. So it is gonna be Love Live Sunshine to our right, and I think Goblin Slayer. So Goblin Slayer to our left. So that was a timely talk on Goblin Slayer. I think it's the meta build in the Search Salvage Torch level 1 Goblin Slayer into the Soul Suppress Priestess, with probably the end game Goblin Slayer not in the TD, so the gate trigger one. So I think you are running 8 gates, of course. Unfortunately, he did not open with the High Elf or the Elf Archer Runner or the Interceptor. Interceptor would have been like basically ideal here. You're not committing too many cards. It's a very nice card. The Goblin Slayer Interceptor 0/0 gains a level, gains 1/5 if you have like 5 more cards, and can run to any person in front. So very intimidating as a first turn play. And High Elf, of course, having a very good profile in the return 2 character cards, gain an extra soul. Sometimes you just need it, right? So like it's relevant basically all game if you're willing to commit the 2 cards going back into your deck. Usually it's okay because you mill through your deck so much with the torch. But I mean, Love Live Sunshine not a slouch in its own right. The unfortunate little bit about Japanese Sunshine, of course, is it does follow a restriction list compared to the English counterpart, which does not follow a restriction list. So one of those few decks where English is actually a bit stronger than the Japanese equivalent. Oh, that's a lot of damage if it's going to hit. My God. So you just witnessed 9 damage for no reason, guys. No reason. I haven't seen anyone run the set 3 level Chica combo in Sunshine. You're gonna have to tell me about the level 3 Chica combo, because I don't actually know too much about Lovely Sunshine outside outside of the of course early play burn equal to number of whatever for Yo. I think it is Yo. I always confuse the names. Left side curse. It legit might just be left side curse today. Oh my goodness. But let's see what the Goblin Slayer can do to mitigate the situation. Of course, it doesn't matter if he has characters characters on the right or not. Goblin Slayer does Goblin Slayer things, right? So as long as he attacks with the climax, he gets to either search from the deck or salvage the torch. Hi Xavier. So it was a so he clocked, of course, that Goblin Slayer had first turn. So he had at least 1 damage in the clock. I think yeah, so what Sunshine did was play the Stock Soul, red Stock Soul, and he also triggered a Stock Soul, and then he paid 2 to search for like a card after the card left. But in that case, he did 3, and then the triggering of the 2 soul on a direct attack slot did the rest. Did the other 6. Other 6 or 5. 2 souls giveth man. So there you see the one of the most expensive cards in the set is the Brainstormer and in the Priestess for Goblin Slayer. Very good profile. You trigger an event, you get to give a character 2k or something like that, 1k, and as well as a tap self search Brainstorm, hitting anything in the deck basically. Oh, sorry, level 3 combo on Stock Soul. If you have Yo and it pay 2, discard burn 3. Oh, interesting. Okay. Pay 2, discard 1. Oh yeah. I see you. And runs on Stock Soul. Yeah. Yo and Rico on stage. So finishes out the tri-lane. So yeah, as you can see here, Goblin Slayer, we're going with only 2 cards, but that's fine. Probably gonna search for the 2 torches. I'm gonna assume. Goblin Slayer already taking back some of the damage dealt to him last turn. As you do know, Sunshine is out 2 climaxes. There was 2 climaxes in his waiting room. So on attack, did he miss? Did he miss? That's not the right combo. That's not the right combo. Oh no! That's the end game combo. That's the end game salvage climax. So he doesn't actually get his torches for the turn. Oh no. Oh no. Sorry, chat. There you go. So no torches from that climax play. A lot of damage dealt though, so about even. So hopefully after the unfortunate 9 damage sticking, 8 to 9 damage sticking, Goblin Slayer can start canceling this turn. He wants to stabilize a little bit for his Priestess play. Oh god, yeah, it's a little bit rough because the Goblin Slayer combos in themselves also look very similar in the level 3 salvage climax versus the level 1 salvage climax. But now that I see the level 3 one is definitely a lot more darker than the level 1 one. So Love Life Sunshine right here. He seems to be going with a different build than I've usually seen him with. I'm not sure if he tweaked this solely for today or not. What he used to run, to my knowledge, before today was the blue, a blue level 1 combo, which allowed him to check like top 2 add 1 if he reversed. This one I'm a little bit more unfamiliar with. Had to see things happen. I believe it's a drop search for a card. Ditch climax, search for a card. I don't know. Yeah, this definitely looks like more of a red centric build than before. The combo as Minami in red, if I remember correctly. Oh, okay. So Minami combo being brought back, or at least Bushiroad's pushing it to kind of be the more baseline standard is what I can see here. Usually, like back in the day, the first initial release of Kantai was very strong in the card of Shimakaze, where you reverse and you plus, right? Not many decks could deal with the onslaught that was the Shimakaze. Especially since it got worked off of like what was it? Wind Trigger? Was it Wind Trigger? Might have been Wind Trigger. It was a 1K1. That much is for sure. So it got power, and you usually could search. But then, you know, the new kind of profile that popped up in the release of 2K1. Sorry, 2K1. That's what it was. And moving on, sorry, Cinderella Girls actually had the next kind of big profile in a level 1 combo, which is, you know, on reverse, check out the top 4, add 1 to hand, and you get to pump power to another character. So you had a cascading effect that was in the works. And Bushiroad seeming to kind of put that more of the baseline. A lot more of the sets have a Minami in the set now than before. And so there you go. There you have it. So it definitely is the Minami combo, as Audrey has pointed out in chat, allowing you to mill through the Minami profile. Very good, right? Just allowing you to mill through your cards, search out cards you need. Goblin Slayer losing his whole board will definitely kind of hurt, but he draws into a torch. Clocks the one torch. So that there are two variants of torches in Goblin Slayer. The one that comes in the TD is generally regarded as the better torch. Of course, it's the Kotsky event as well as the counter, right, for the same effect. But the booster set came with a torch that cannot be played without Goblin Slayer, and on play you get to move a card from an empty slot to an open slot. Wait, sorry, let me rephrase that. You can move a card to an open slot of your choice, so you can snipe things in the back. You can't switch cards, though. That being said, so if your opponent, if your opponent, like the Love Life Sunshine player is right now, is playing, you can't swap like the back row for the front row. It would have to be an empty slot. So like at best, he'd move him to the other back row slot there, which wouldn't really do anything. So he opts to clock that one. Makes sense. I myself play 3 of the Akatsuki event and one of these torches just in case. Sometimes if you're the first to hit level 1 and there's no other targets, you can move one of their like brainstorms or their utility cards out into the front and just get rid of them that way. Thematic as well. But yeah, Goblin Slayer just trying to amass cards to deal back with the Minami, eye for an eye. Hopefully he did manage to get the gate, but I'm not sure. He has at least one of the 1/0 Goblin Slayers, level 1 combo in hand, because we know he searched it with the gate trigger from last turn. Salvaged. He has one of them in hand. Bam! So he plays the Cowgirl. Cowgirl, very good. A very decent card. I think on play you can ditch a Climax to salvage a card, or you can ditch a Torch and salvage a card. Interesting choice in that he searches for the 2/1 0/0. Might have been 0/0 Sorcerer. Sorcerer bonding to the or to Scroll, which is a 3/3 event. You must have a full board, and it is a bounce counter. And this one bonds to it, I think, by clocking or clocking herself, something like that. Does he have the right CX this time? It's not the right CX! No! He had 2 of the wrong ones. Feels bad, but I mean, he's just trying to make up damage right now. He actually is in the lead, right? Sunshine player is at level 2 already. Goblin Slayer canceled really well last turn. So like I mentioned, eating 9 damage earlier is rectified by him like canceling everything the turn before. I think he might have taken like at least 1 or 2 swings, maybe 1 damage. On reverse, the sorcerer, I think 2 choose 1 from the top. And the final swing. So there's a lot of damage pushed up. I didn't see how like Sunshine got hit so hard before. Yeah, I didn't see how they hit level 2 so quickly. And he also triggers another salvage. So right now Goblin Slayer might be in a little bit of a pinch. Several of his climaxes are already in the waiting room, and he just triggered another. But salvages his 1/0. His level 2 game is not ready, I don't think, at all. If he even runs the priestess, I don't think he does, because Yo, sorry, I double better. He definitely doesn't because he's running the salvage and he's running 8 gates, right? So he can't possibly be running the soul suppress. So it'd be interesting to see what his early game is. There is a 2-1 early play 2-1 early play whatchamacallit. Cowgirl that can help you dig for cards and heals, I think. So probably the early play of choice. Does GS have any level 2 game outside of early play level 3? They have the Red Lancer, quote unquote Lancer, early play bomb killer. Otherwise, not really. I myself play a level 2 game with the Sword Maiden, but outside Goblin Slayer, you're probably going to play a costless combo game up until level 3. Besides playing the Cowgirl to probably like fish for your other Goblin Slayers. And of course, you can't forget the 3/2 Goblin Slayer. If you have 4 or more early play, you get to discard a card and you just grab an event. Yeah. So unfortunately, our level 3, right? He's just outright drops the yo. The deck is about to be refreshed. It's a little bit rough for him. I actually don't know where all the cancels went. Like, he just milled them all out in the Minamis. I don't think that was the case, so I don't know actually where they all went. But there's quite the disparity, right? There's like almost a 2 level, 1.5 to 2 level. But as I mentioned, Goblin Slayer also out a lot of climaxes, I think. So any damage Loveline Sunshine is going to be dealing here will probably stick. Goblin Slayer is okay with that. He's left his lanes open, so higher chances of canceling. Of course, the backlashes, of course, he takes more damage than he needs to. But at this point, I think he's okay. He's probably confident that he won't hit level 3. And even if he does, he has like at least 6 stock, I think. So if he does have his level 3s in hand, he can play them. Yeah, I think our Sunshine player is trying to see what he can do to kind of hold on here. Not much he can do, unfortunately. I think he's deciding when he's going to drop his Musashis. Oh no, he doesn't even have sorry, he doesn't even have any stock to play anymore. So just focus on the burner. He got hit way faster than he expected, I think, because usually as the Sunshine player, you kind of crutch for the 2/1 Rico, I think it was. You put that in clock. You get to early play the Chica into the Yo. Refreshes by both players. More advantageous, of course, for the Goblin Slayer because he still has several cards in his clock. Not a full field, right? So there's some give and take there. So his compression is probably not the best. As well as we do know, the thing about Goblin Slayer is if you're not, unless you're playing standby, then it's not a lot. Yeah, for sure. I would agree with that, Yuri Prime, 100%. Standby deck is a different beast altogether. But at the same time, though, you wouldn't be playing them, or hopefully not playing them from the hand, right? So. Oh, you hate to see that happen. So he took a bunch of damage from the direct attack, only to be met with the refresh trigger being a climax. That is unfortunate. But I mean, the name of the game, of course, is how much damage can Goblin Slayer take? Still direct attack. No climax, though, so we'll see. Still damage being stuck. Oh, there finally is the cancel. Goblin Slayer breathing a sigh of relief, sorry. If that hit, it would have been even 3 apiece. Sunshine really wanted to hit him to 3. Finally draws the level 1 combo. So he can fetch a torch, because after refresh, his torches should still be in his deck. Yeah, he's going to play one of the Goblin Slayers. He's going to beat over that 0/0, not a big deal. I don't really see him having his early play options. Oh no, how many climaxes does he have in here? Yeah, no, I think he can early play the cowgirl. Just depends if he wants to. Cowgirl, of course, draw equal to the number of like order characters, I think. So if he wants to commit and or at least wants to draw enough, he would have to commit more cards on the board. Does he want to? Does he want to Ricky for a Goblin Slayer? So the Sword Maiden 0/0 in the deck is a Ricky, pay one, clock one for any Goblin Slayer. So he can amass his in-game this way too. Unless he wants to just get another torch, which is also fair. The brilliance about the 1/0 Goblin Slayer is if you search the torch, it's one card off the deck, right? Closer to another climax. As well as the torch in hand is another 4 cards potentially off of your deck, right? Wait. There you go. Wait, I don't think you can search for that. I think you can only find a Goblin Slayer. It's not for an order character. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I thought. Hold up. Hold up. Yeah, hold up. Hold your horses. I'm trying to get my dudes on this. Oh, this is the problem with not being on scene, guys. I have no way to like hold the game. Okay, well. Unfortunately we've sure it's like as we all know, the 0/0 Sword Maiden that he played down the blue is you can only Ricky for Goblin Slayer. So like you can't find anything else other than a Goblin Slayer, and he pulled another Sword Maiden from his deck, and it's a pretty good one too. Good profile. It pumps up another character, but again, like he can't do that. If only he made the TD play, then I wouldn't be up in arms. But oh boy, yeah, I don't have anyone here. I don't think I can stop that. But I'm glad everyone in chat knows that you can't do that. So yeah, it would basically be it, right? And so that's what it is. Oh, man. Okay, well, I just mentioned, I guess, the state of the game. Like, there's not much more. Goblin Slayer ahead of level, he's just swinging for face, right? Just generating that stock. It finally gets those torches in hand, so he's primed to. Oh, is that game? Nope. He's still in there. Sunshine's still in there, guys. 3/6. You can play at most another 3/2. Oh, there's some heals. That's nice. So I mean, in regards to how Goblin Slayer has taken damage so far in this game, right? It would be only justice if the Sunshine player just wins off of this, right? Right? If he deals an unanswered 2, 2, 7, 9 damage, right? Unanswered 9 damage, open slot. All right, it's not out of the question, guys. It's not out of the question. bit rough for Sunshine though. There's definitely it's an uphill battle for him. Fair amount of climaxes out for Goblin Slayer. I don't know how thick his deck is at the time, but we do know there's some in his waiting room, but that might be from his paying of stock. for his utility cards the previous turn. There's one in his clock, of course. So roughly about like probably 4 to 5 left in his deck. So it's not like a small number. Might range from like 3 to 5. So chance is still there. Yo has to hit the burn, and hopefully the burn will be a climax, right? Or other way around, one of the two. I mean, ideally everything sticks, of course, but 1, 2, 3. So looks like there's 6 out. 6 out for the Goblin Slayer. I'm not sure if there's any in the stock, so that's actually lower than what I thought. So it's actually quite likely. 9 damage suddenly does not seem to be out of the question, is what I mean. Sunshine player debating how the best way to do this is. Yeah, no climaxes, so he's just gonna go in. Oh, so there's the one of the few ones remaining. Oh, there's 4. Yeah, so that was ideal, right? Yo fished the burn to take out the climax. Still 2 swings left. Let's see what the power would be. 2 and 2, 4 damage. Everything has to stick. Everything has to stick. That's it. Unless the deck is about to refresh. Actually, the deck's... Oh, no. So refresh is probably off the table. There's like at least... There's 6 cards. Unless he triggers like a 2-soul. Oh! I think the trigger killed him. But I mean, if that stuck and the other one would cancel, right? If he didn't trigger, so... There's not much Sunshine could do about it. Any climax that was after the Yo burn would be it. Yeah, torch. Fish for the probably last 3-2, I'm guessing. Yeah, last 3-2. Wait, why did he go all the way? Actually, no, that is the better play for sure. Better play for sure. Yeah, torch would stay. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, just a bunch of misplays. You're right. We've shorts. Sorry, we've shorts. I shouldn't call people weeps, even though I probably am one. But hey, yeah, having a very bad day. So he'll probably get a talking to. Multiple infractions, but yes, the event should not have gone back. I'm a weeb. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? But yeah. So I'm not sure if Goblin Slayer has his the end game climax combo in hand. I don't think he does. So it's gonna be vanilla swings. That being said, that it doesn't take much left to kill a man from 3-5. So yeah, dropping it. Oh, and healing too, so. Yeah, he did not draw the correct combo piece, which is also the story of the game for like Goblin Slayer the entire match. That being said though, Sunshine has not triggered any like 2-soul crits or anything or any climaxes. So still I think maybe all 8 in there. Right? So there's hope. There's hope. Will the deck pull through? Will there be justice, chat? Will there be justice? Will Goblin Slayer get these infractions out of the way and take the victory, or not? Well, we'll see. We'll see. He only needs to deal 2 damage, so sadly there is no justice in this world of ours. We'll see. I mean, the judge is literally playing against him, so I don't think he'll abuse his power in such a way that 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 he'll instantly DQ. But yeah, it's definitely bleak for our Sunshine player. But oh no, sorry, there is 1 climax now, so there's 7 in there probably. But at the same time, I don't see this ending well for our Sunshine player. All right. I mean, there's not much left but to do swing, right? Oh no, he drops it because he wants the 2/2 all. Okay. Yeah, so I would have argued against that too as well, Audrey. I would have definitely argued against that too. Just because you have your 1/0/0 or your 0/0 do 1 damage, I would rather have 2 swings at lethal damage than to have everything be lethal if it means 2 are overshooting. Especially since you know he only has 1 climax out. Oh, but sadly he does get punished, so there you go. At least he swung with that first, right? All right, well that's game 3, guys. Also hashtag what not to do when you play an event that mills 4, and yeah, and Rickying when you really can't Ricky for the whatchamacallit, for the priestess. Look at your phone. Look at your phone. Well, I mean, it's only like a level like 1 tournament, right? So it's like it's really up to the discretion of the judge. Um, Definitely at least a warning, though. Definitely at least a warning. And I think the player just doesn't know. I don't think he's familiar enough with the deck to know. But yeah, so that's round 3. I'm sorry, chat. Sorry you had to see that. But I mean, besides those two, like, you know, him getting another Goblin Slayer, like a 0/0, whatchamacallit, or another Goblin Slayer wouldn't really have changed too much. But um, but yeah. Uh, I mean, technically speaking, right, him putting that 1 card back would have changed like maybe a cancel or something, right? So you can definitely make arguments for. It's definitely to his disadvantage putting 1 more card back in, but at the same time, like that's something he could search for. Our judge is currently um, dealing with the aftermath of this game. For those who don't know right now, I am not privy to what is being discussed right now, but the correct people are discussing it right now. Yeah, right. Like I'm not trying to trash him, nor am I defending his play. Right, of course. If he knew, I don't think he would have. Right. Because like I know everyone here, and none of these players would strike me as the type to do that knowingly, right? It would have to like either be a blip or like just a brain fart or some sort. Um, it just happens, right? Especially with the new deck, I think this might be like, I don't know how much he's played with it, of course, but this is like the second time I've seen him play with it. James said, yeah. Okay, so aftermath chat. Like I said, the Goblin Slayer player has received a warning. And we'll probably know for next time not to do that. Yeah, I think so too. I was pretty sure that's a warning for a level 1 tournament. Like all in all, the play that he would have made probably didn't really change, but yeah. But a lot of people fall prey not to yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of trust within our community, of course. Like a lot of us play like Japanese decks, and unless the effect it sounds like super busted, like we probably wouldn't be like double checking. You know what I mean? Like it's very easy for me to say like a Ricky usually hits most of the things in your deck anyways, right? So you're just letting it happen, right? Or like every one of your card has the certain trait, right? It just happens in this Ricky in Goblin Slayer that it only Rickies for Goblin Slayer, right? So you just kind of fall trap into like the archetype of certain cards. But yeah, so here we go. I think to our right is another Love Life Sunshine player. He runs a very unique build. I think very yellow focused. I think with the Ruby. He plays like the 2/2. I think I don't know if it's changed, but that's what I remember about it. And to our left, I think another Konosuba player. He's also a resident Saikano player. To anyone who watched on Wednesday, he played Saikano, and unfortunately got unfortunately he also got canceled well by today's Goblin Slayer. He was running a different deck at the time, but yeah, so definitely a Sunshine player to the right. I think he only plays English, so he does not have, again, that restriction felt by the Japanese players. But that being said, I don't think he runs the quote-unquote meta that you would see in English currently. To our left, we have our Konosuba player. Definitely more meta-esque in the fact that there's a lot more blue than the first Konosuba that we saw, who was only running mono red. Seems like he drew well, besides the fact that there might be a bit too much climaxes in his hand. I think he has 2 more in his hand. Yeah, so he's out 4 already. Maybe, yeah, 4. So he'll need a way to start milling through his deck, especially since our player to the right, I think, runs a bunch of 2 souls. Triggers. I'm not sure if he actually runs 2 souls. Definitely runs the triggers. Not an ideal start for our Konosuba player. You would probably at least like another card, maybe another runner. But what can you do when you have like two climaxes? Interesting that you don't make your English player follow the ban list. So at our local scene, Audrey, we enforce that if you run Japanese cards, you follow the Japanese restriction, and if you don't, then you don't have to. If you run strictly English, because you run English, then there's no ban list in English, so you're fine. Although quote unquote unfair, I guess you can say, right? Because obviously Japanese restricted it for a reason. We find that it doesn't change too much with what we've seen and the couple years we had running this. No one seems to have a problem. I think we also made that kind of rule to kind of appease more of our English only players. And the fact that starting out early, of course, if you were a Japanese player, you had access to more sets and more, and the power creep was a bit higher on the Japanese end at the time compared to English, especially with the introduction of TLR and like Yami being a thing for the first time. A lot of players felt frustration in the fact that they just basically lost at level 3 with this with the level 3 combo, which is Yami, right? So it wasn't restricted or anything, so. We just let it happen. So like our local scene, if you are Japanese, if you are playing a Japanese deck, you follow the Japanese ban list. If you're not, then you don't have to. If English ever gets one, we would enforce it. Sorry, as I was explaining, what we do at our local scene, it does seem Love Live has sent Konosuba to level 1. Not surprisingly so, because as we know, he is out several climaxes. So what Konosuba wants to do here is find those unions, right? One of them, unfortunately, was in stock, so he has to somehow amass more unions. I think they had like a drop search right now. And they're all free to be reversed right now, right? But that being said, Union doesn't need to be reversed. Union's a very good card. Or does Union need to reverse? Pretty sure Union doesn't have to reverse. Someone can confirm that for me. Anyways, though, I think she has to. You know what? I'm just gonna let you correct me on that. I'll wait for it. But he doesn't seem to have any more than one Union, so he's just gonna go with it. Gate trigger is good. Union does need to. Okay, so he does need to reverse. Thank you, Yuri Prime. Again, as I mentioned in the other Konosuba deck, Union is a very good card. When you do reverse something, blind stock 1, check top. If it's like level 1 or higher, you add it to your hand, right? So it's almost like a quote unquote +2. And this is free real estate, right? Obviously, hitting level 1 first it nets you that advantage of being able to play your combo first. And as I mentioned, Konosuba playing more of a meta-esque build. He has the early play Aquas to heal. Yeah, he probably has some foreclosures in there. And for those of you who don't know what foreclosure does, it's an event. I forgot the cost. I believe it's like a 2-3 maybe. It is a counter. So you basically take out all the opponent's stock on play, and they get to put it back from the top of the deck after everything is over. So any combo that requires payment of any sort in the stock, you just instantly stop cold. Which also makes Konosuba a very strong deck, because as we know, our most endgame pieces in any deck will require some payment of stock. And especially trumps those that need to attack for anything to happen, right? When this card attacks, pay or whatever. You might get one off, but then suddenly you have no stock. And it also does is a double whammy in that if you compressed really well, all your stock is now gone, right? And now you just put them from the top of the deck. So now you don't know how many climaxes are in there. It's what we call a stock wash, right? Stock wash event. Some sets have them. Fate has one. But yeah, so here we see the opposite happen, where Love Live Sunshine's actually getting his effects off. He managed to salvage, triggered a salvage too. So like in terms of hand, he's probably doing all right. Konosuba will probably be taking over the game at level 2. Both are about equal, I'd say. I feel like our Love Live Sunshine player also runs the Rico Yo Chica, because I mean it's red, so why wouldn't you? But of course I don't actually know until I see it happen. So yeah, as one of the damage there was definitely the foreclosure event chat. So like there you go. A lot of damage being pushed this turn for our Konosuba player. His early play, I don't think, is up right now. A bit too many climaxes. Probably seek to rectify this by searching out. Double Union Resonant. So the back row Union, very good. Gamba Ruby, there you go. Your bias is showing, Audrey. Your bias is showing. Back row Union, very good card, right? So rest pay 1 resonance with any Megumi, and you get to you get to perform basically an Akatsuki effect. So you mill through your deck very quickly in terms of like in exchange for stock, of course, but like the stipulation's like almost free, right? So right now, Konosuba probably just aiming to gain back the stock. You do run stock souls, right? So you generate a bunch of stock as well. Almost about to refresh. So with the amount of card, like if he wants to play Climax right now, probably ideal, because like at least that one goes back into the deck. He just won't have it for the end game, right? So yeah, no, that's exactly what he does. chooses a card, stalks it, so he gets 6. 6 into the next turn is just fine, just peachy. If he stays at level 2, early play. If he gets to level 3, gets to play the Megumians, so. Cancels. Will Sunshine live through this? Yeah, so those rubies have some staying power. I think he pays 1, checks top. If it's a music character, he gets added back to hand. I've seen the effect kind of burn him every now and then. So there was I recall definitely one time where he definitely paid the stock instead of not discarding, sacrificing one of the oh, what's her name? That's a blue 0/0. Starts with a K. Ponytail? 3rd year? Someone help me out here. She basically sacrifices herself to keep a card rested. Like, rest herself in order to save a card. Canon! Thank you, Audrey. Thank you, Weave Shorts. Canon, that's what it was. And instead of using her effect, which he played over next turn, right? He opted to pay 1 stock, and he was 1 stock away from doing like a burn combo or something. Wow, canceling very well. So Sunshine player canceling very well, literally took no damage, and he got back those rubies. So if he has another climax in play, he is golden. And I mean like the same climax, of course. A lot of cards in hand, a lot to work with. So right now he wants to push for damage for sure. I didn't even see when Konosuba like clocked that climax, but oh, it was refresh damage. Oh, poor guy. Brainstorm whiffs. Yeah. Plays the ruby, of course. Does he have the climax? It'd be amazing if he did. There you go. There's the full field, guys. And he does. So yeah, lost a lot of stock, but you know he'll be gaining it back, and then probably letting them go probably this turn. But of course, depends what happens. Oh, there's at least some canceling from the Konosuba player, but he probably would like to cancel this direct attack. Salvage trigger as well. Oh my goodness. All right, so level 3 from Konosuba. He's pretty far behind. And here we see the flee from yeah, like actually left side is left side is so unlucky today, dude. Like this is round 4. Like oh my goodness, Konosuba just taking, or left side in general taking everything. That being said, the Goblin Slayer won on the left. Yeah, there we go. Plays the Aqua, heals the stock. I didn't know they. Yo, please don't report us. Ruby just smacked the explosion right out of me. Yeah, actually though. That being said though, the guy, our Sunshine player has triggered another gate, so like his climax count is probably very low. So I don't know if our Konosuba player will take advantage of this, right? Because of course we know the Konosuba endgame Megumi effect is deal 4 and clock kick, right? And the clock kick, of course, will dodge the Ruby's effect of her staying power. So, but I'm not sure how long the Love Life Sunshine player wanted to keep the Rubies, anyways. I'm also not sure if the Konosuba player is actually wanting to commit to this. He doesn't have the climax. So he's literally praying. He just has to pray. Yeah, that's all he's gonna do. That being said, though, I saw earlier that he did reveal the top of the top being a whatchamacallit. Ooh, finds the Union event. So there you go. What was I gonna say? Sorry, he does play the 2-1 Rico. So the early play Chica Yo, Burn Yo isn't off the table for our Sunshine player. Definitely has enough stock to do it. Dude, this guy's been canceling so well. So well. Sunshine has not been able to deal any damage in the last 4 swings. There we go. 2 damage finally sticks. Unfortunately, on Konosuba's side though, he has also triggered. He's also triggering these climaxes, like they're going out of style. Yeah, so he is amassing that stock though. So Konosuba player, knowing like he can't finish the game right now, has to greed, right? So I think he's made the correct decision in hoping that he'll live the next turn, amassing the amount of stock he needs to try to finish off the opponent with his last stand. The unfortunate bit, of course, is with blind stock, as he doesn't know if any of those are climaxes. Um, Again, a Sunshine player, still holding on to all of those rubies, right? So he's been stock neutral for 2 turns straight. Whether he really needed to save all of these cards turn after turn is something I would argue against. I could see maybe saving 1, maybe 2, but like it's very tough when you keep paying out stock like that, right? Because you can't prepare properly for your end game. Because you just kind of want to be constantly kind of at least building stock, right, for that end game. Being neutral is like okay, but like you shouldn't do it if you can help it, right? You want to be at least like +1, +2, and slowly accumulate that over turns when you can Gambari too. So I mean, clearly it's been working, Audrey, right? Clearly. But I mean, that maybe it's because he keeps drawing these climaxes, dude. I don't know how he's been doing that and canceling every time. What a god. Oh, so there's the cancel. Was it a cancel? I feel like it was a cancel, or else he would have eaten 3. He might have eaten 3. It doesn't look good for a Konosuba player for chat. It doesn't look good. All right, so we're finishing refreshes on both parts. Oh, that's it. Oh no, he cancels. He cancels because it's 2 soul. Okay, okay. The unfortunate bit, of course, is he also refreshes into a climax. I mean, so does the Sunshine player, but one person is not about to die. Oh, was he out of climaxes? Did he just shake? Oh boy. Well, there you go, guys. 2 soul giveth. Left side eating damage. Yeah, for sure, Audrey. Oh my goodness, for sure. I mean, what more can you say, right? 2 soul giveth that game for sure. Uh, Again, I think as much as you would keep love to for using that 2 soul combo and keep getting cards, I feel like he probably could have dialed it back a little bit, but that's just me. Unless he wants to go all in, like that's the style he wants to play. Like he all ins all the time, which is fine, right? Like if you run 2 souls, like it really doesn't matter what you have uh, on the board. It's just nice that the ones that you do have on the board, will give you cards. Um, what else was I gonna say? But yeah, so that's round 4. So that concludes our local tournament here for this week. Um, Sunshine player, very good player. As you can see, 2 souls is the way to go. Nice and hard to cancel. Keep your rubies till next turn. Yeah. Yeah. Truly. It's a little bit unfortunate that Konosuba also kept like drawing into his climaxes and also started like quite poorly, I would say, when you're facing a deck with 2 soul. Like if you know the guy's playing 2 soul and you're already 3 out, you're kind of just praying, right? and then unfortunately that didn't pan out for our Konosuba player. But yeah, as I was mentioning, in terms of the decks I played, I really like Atari. When they announced the second season set, I was so happy. Um, I wanted to hold out until English, but clearly I made the right choice in not doing it because it's still not down to English. Um, I personally feel that Bushi Road can probably ease up a little bit on my restriction list. Bring back my utility. Release Hanekawa. Or give me Kizu. The movies are out. The movies are done. Bushi Road. Get on it. Get on it. Give me my Shinobu set. It isn't that broke. I would agree strictly because we have no end game. We have no end game. There's no end game in Atari. Our only means of an end game is a burn one. Ban Stratos. Hey, that guy's free now, Terrible. He's free. I didn't think I'd see it in my lifetime, but Stratos, my boy, is free. Free to soar to the skies again. But I don't play UU anymore. But I just keep up with the ban list just to see what comes off. But yeah, so I think I'll wrap it up there. I don't want to keep the streamer and them from too long. They probably want to go out to eat now. So I will be signing off. Once again, thank you everyone for viewing. Thank you for being so active in the chat. I love talking with you guys. It's nice to throw ideas and suggestions back and forth. And so with that, I will bid everyone to have a good weekend and a good night, and see you guys next week.